Greek civilization emerged from Bronze Age collapse around 1200 BCE. Mycenaean kingdoms that dominated the Greek peninsula fell to invasions and internal conflict. The subsequent Dark Ages lasted 3 centuries, during which writing disappeared and populations scattered. Gradually, Greek communities reorganized around independent city-states called polis, establishing the foundation for classical Greece. The Archaic period between 800 and 480 BCE witnessed explosive cultural and political development. The alphabet arrived from Phoenicia around 750 BCE, adapted with vowels. Writing enabled record-keeping, literature, and philosophical thought. Homer composed the Iliad and Odyssey during this era, creating epic poems celebrating heroes and gods that defined Greek identity for millennia. These works provided cultural cohesion across fragmented city-states speaking common language and worshiping common gods. The polis emerged as Greek civilization's fundamental unit. Unlike empires ruled by single monarchs, each polis governed itself independently with Athens, Sparta, Corinth, and Thebes among the most powerful. Early polis were monarchies, gradually transitioning to aristocracies where wealthy landowners held power. Citizens formed assemblies providing political voice, establishing early democracy's roots. Competition between polis drove innovation and achievement, as each sought prestige through military power, athletic competitions, and cultural excellence. Colonization spread Greek civilization around the Mediterranean and Black Sea between 750 and 550 BCE. Population pressure and political conflicts motivated Greeks to establish settlements in Italy, Sicily, North Africa, Egypt, and Asia Minor. Colonies maintained ties to mother cities but developed independently. This expansion created a vast Greek world, uniting diverse populations through shared language, religion, and culture despite political independence. Trade networks enriched Greek cities, enabling imports of Egyptian grain and luxury goods while exporting olive oil, wine, and crafts. Religion bound Greeks together despite political fragmentation. 12 Olympian gods resided on Mount Olympus under Zeus's rule. Temples honored gods in each city with public sacrifices and festivals. The oracle at Delphi provided prophecies influencing major decisions. Sanctuaries like Olympia hosted athletic competitions every 4 years beginning in 776 BCE. The Olympic Games initially featured one sprint race, expanding to multiple competitions including wrestling, boxing, and chariot racing. Athletes from all polis competed, temporarily creating shared Greek identity transcending political boundaries. Warfare shaped early Greek society fundamentally. The phalanx, a dense formation of heavily armed infantry, became dominant military tactic around 700 BCE. Hoplites carried large shields, spears, and short swords, standing shoulder to shoulder in tight formation. This formation required citizen participation rather than professional soldiers, making warfare community affairs. Every male citizen trained as potential soldier, blending military and civic identity. Constant warfare between neighboring polis produced legendary battles and military innovations. Two rival powers emerged dominating classical Greece. Sparta in southern Greece created a militaristic society where all male citizens trained as professional soldiers from childhood. Spartans lived communally, eating in public mess halls and training relentlessly. Women received physical training unusual for ancient societies, producing strong offspring. Sparta conquered neighboring territories, creating an empire through military dominance. Helot slaves performed agricultural labor, freeing Spartans for military pursuits. Sparta's rigid military system produced invincible armies for centuries, but stifled artistic and intellectual development. Athens developed democracy instead. Solon reformed Athenian law in 594 BCE, creating classes based on wealth rather than birth, limiting aristocratic power. Cleisthenes reorganized government around 508 BCE, establishing democratia, rule by the people. Citizens voted directly on major decisions in the assembly. Rotating office holders prevented power concentration. Ostracism allowed citizens to exile threatening individuals. Though excluding women, slaves, and foreigners, Athenian democracy represented revolutionary governance for its era. The Persian Wars between 490 and 479 BCE united Greek city-states against common enemy. The massive Persian Empire under Xerxes invaded Greece with enormous army and navy. At Marathon in 490 BCE, Athenian forces defeated Persian invasion, inspiring confidence. 10 years later, Xerxes returned with larger force. The Spartans under King Leonidas died heroically at Thermopylae Pass defending against overwhelming Persian numbers. Greek naval forces defeated Persian fleet at Salamis, forcing Persian retreat. Athens emerged as war's greatest hero, gaining prestige and power. Post-war Athens flourished culturally and economically. Democratic reforms deepened under Pericles between 461 and 429 BCE. Citizens gained power to propose laws and direct government spending. Athenian empire expanded through naval power, controlling islands and Aegean trade. Tribute from allied cities funded massive construction projects. The Parthenon Temple showcased Greek architectural genius, completed in 432 BCE. Phidias created magnificent statue of Athena inside. Public buildings, theaters, and monuments transformed Athens into civilization's cultural center. Philosophy began in Ionia among merchant traders. Thales questioned supernatural explanations, seeking natural causes for phenomena around 600 BCE. Pythagoras discovered mathematical relationships underlying reality. Heraclitus proposed constant change as fundamental principle. Parmenides argued for unchanging reality. Democritus theorized tiny atoms comprising all matter. These pre-Socratic philosophers invented rational thinking, moving beyond mythology towards scientific method. Socrates revolutionized philosophy in Athens during 5th century BCE. He questioned Athenians about virtue, justice, and knowledge through dialogue, claiming he knew nothing. His method exposed contradictions in conventional thinking, forcing deeper examination. Socrates never wrote, but student Plato recorded his teachings. Athenian authorities executed Socrates in 399 BCE for corrupting youth and impiety, making him philosophy's martyr. Plato founded the Academy around 387 BCE, establishing Western civilization's first university. His dialogues featured Socrates investigating fundamental questions. Plato proposed theory of forms, arguing ideal abstract concepts exist beyond physical reality. His student Aristotle created systematic philosophy investigating nature, ethics, politics, and logic. Aristotle's empirical approach contrasted Plato's idealism, examining actual phenomena rather than abstract concepts. Both philosophers profoundly influenced Western thought for millennia. Classical Greek culture achieved unprecedented artistic sophistication. Sculptors like Praxiteles and Polykleitos created idealized human forms with anatomical accuracy. Theater developed two genres, comedies mocking society and tragedies exploring human suffering. Playwrights Aeschylus, Sophocles, and Euripides composed masterworks performed at festivals. Aristophanes wrote comedies satirizing war and politics. These dramas explored ethics, justice, and human nature through powerful narratives. Audiences debated plays' meanings, engaging philosophical questions through entertainment. Medicine advanced through observation and reason. Hippocrates rejected supernatural explanations for illness, proposing disease resulted from natural causes. He created ethical medical standards still influencing doctors today. History developed as discipline through Herodotus and Thucydides examining past events critically rather than accepting mythology. The Peloponnesian War between 431 and 404 BCE devastated Greece. Athens and Sparta led opposing alliances into prolonged conflict. Plague killed Pericles and thousands of Athenians. Eventually, Sparta defeated Athens, destroying her navy and democratic government. The war exhausted Greek city-states, enabling Macedonian conquest within decades. Yet during this terrible conflict, Greek cultural achievement continued. Sophocles wrote his greatest plays while Athens fought desperately. Philosophy flourished as Athenians questioned their civilization's foundations. Greek civilization at its height created revolutionary achievements. Democracy provided political voice to citizens unprecedented in ancient world. Philosophy invented rational inquiry into reality's nature. Mathematics discovered geometric principles and numerical relationships. Tragedy and comedy created literary forms exploring human condition. Sculpture and architecture achieved beauty through proportion and reason. Medicine rejected superstition for observation. History became disciplined inquiry into past events. Science began investigating natural phenomena through experiment rather than mythology. These innovations spread throughout Mediterranean and Near East through Alexander the Great's conquests after 336 BCE. Though Alexander was Macedonian, he spread Greek culture, language, and ideas across Egypt, Persia, and India. Greek civilization influenced Roman culture profoundly, then medieval Islamic scholarship, eventually shaping modern Western civilization fundamentally. Ancient Greek contributions to democracy, philosophy, science, and arts remain foundational to contemporary society's intellectual and cultural frameworks.